Hopefully, if you've been practicing for a while, question number 3 looks familiar. They test this rule a lot, so you need to kind of get used to it. The sentence structure should ring a bell. So the story of the Cat in the Hat's publication began when William Spalding, the director of the education division at the publishing company Houghton Mifflin, read Hershey's article and had an idea. So clearly, based on the choices here, we can predict that they're testing punctuation. But even just based on the structure of the sentence, hopefully we can tell that they're testing this rule called an appositive. Basically, it's like when they add in a little extra information to define something or to give us like another way of describing a person. It's usually a person, but it doesn't have to be. So in this case, the story of the Cat in the Hat's publication began when William Spalding, who's like the main topic of this sentence, and then we get this little description of him, the director of the education division at the publishing company Houghton Mifflin. We've seen things like this before. This is the appositive. This is the extra bit that we could ignore and still have a full sentence, right? The story of the Cat in the Hat's publication began when William Spalding read Hershey's article and had an idea. That's the sentence. So this little thing, when we add it in, it's an unnecessary clause. And so in order to kind of show that that unnecessary clause is separate from the sentence, is something that we could remove, we need some sort of punctuation to kind of like separate it out. And based on the end of the appositive, where there's a comma, we're going to now need to be symmetrical with that, and at the beginning, also put a comma. And so that's exactly how it's written, which is why A is the answer. Now, just to let you know, there are times when we can do something more like D and use the dash to set out some sort of extra piece of information. That's very common on the SAT, but because there's a beginning and an end, we'd want the beginning and the end to be the same. We'd want 2 dashes, not just 1. So the dash isn't wrong necessarily, it's just wrong in this case because right here at the end, we have a comma and not a dash, and we need to be consistent. This rule comes up a lot. Get used to thinking about sentence structure when you can tell that they're testing punctuation. The structure is almost always what determines whether we use commas, dashes, or nothing at all.